Hey guys, and welcome to the Alchemist Bar in Melbourne. My name's Fraser, and today I'm going to be taking you through a variation of the contemporary classic cocktail, the Treacle, which is called the Treacle No. 2. This is a drink which over the years I've had made for me in various different ways. The original recipe calls for Myers dark rum, apple juice, sugar syrup and bitters. A lot of times when I've ordered this drink, I've found it not rich enough, not living up to the namesake. So I've recreated the recipe using 12-year-old Jamaican rum, Valdespino sherry, brown sugar and bitters. So what this drink basically is it's a rum old-fashioned using dark rum. And it is one of the few drinks which should taste as the name suggests. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to make this drink as an old-fashioned, which is using the 12-year-old rum as the base, and I'm just going to measure out 60 mils into a decanter. And the reason I'm doing this to start with is because when you're making any stirred drink, it's always handy to have in a vessel as you make it, so you don't have to keep going back and measuring each time, just to make your life easier. And then I'm going to add in the 10 mils of the Pedro Jimenez sherry, which is just less than half a shot, into the glass. This helps when you add in the sugar, because you can use it to start breaking down. Sometimes with old fashions they use soda water to help break down the sugar. This demerara sugar I'm using, which is just slightly heaped bar spoon, is actually really nice and soft, so it's not too hard to break down. And then just a single dash of bitters. I'm just using my little squeezy bottle here. And then I've got my sugar, my bitters and my sherry in the glass, so I'm just going to start mixing those together just now. Using demerara sugar instead of crystallized brown sugar is much better for the drink. It adds to the mouthfeel, gives a kind of syrupy texture once it's broken down. Crystallized sugar is a bit of a nightmare to work with, so it's best going with demerara. So we've now got all three initial ingredients in the glass, so I'm just going to add in some ice, and luckily we've got some nice Hoshizaki ice which dilutes quite slowly, which when making old-fashioned is very handy. And I'm just going to add in a little splash of rum. A lot of bartenders, when making old-fashions, have different ways of doing it. So sometimes bartenders like to add in all the alcohol at the same time, which if you're using weak ice isn't a really good idea, because you end up with a really fast dilution rate. So I like to do mine in 4 stages. So the first one is putting in a little dash with the ice just to start breaking it down. And then, as with a lot of other stir drinks like martinis, Manhattans, it's always good just to keep adding more ice, because ice keeps ice cold. And also means you're just not diluting too quickly, so you have a bit more control over what's happening. So adding in a second splash there, and keep stirring. Alright, so like I say, usually this drink is finished off with a dash of apple juice, and what I find is, because many times I've had this before, because it's been stirred down already and then you have the addition of the apple juice, you actually lose quite a lot of richness from the drink, so it doesn't really live up to the namesake, though it's a great recipe. I definitely prefer my Treacles being a lot more refined. But that's my personal preference, so you can decide for yourselves when you've made it. Just a little bit more rum there. And as you can see, the colour is very nice and rich, almost chocolatey. And just the final splash in there. Just one last stir. You can always get a little taste as you go along as well, just to see how you're going. And the drink will keep diluting once you've made it. So if you think you've not stirred it enough, don't worry about it too much. If you drink it quickly, then the dilution is not going to be too much of an issue. All right, and then final touches, we're going to add in a little orange zest, which is the original garnish from the drink. Generally the oils from an orange work with really nice rich aromas. It's a very almost Christmassy kind of smell, I find. It always reminds me of Christmases as a kid, you know, like Christmas cake, things like that. So a nicely trimmed orange zest. We're just going to give it a twist and then squeeze the oils out, making sure that they coat the top of the glass all around the rim. And then once the oils have been fully pressed out, you can actually just give it a little wipe around the glass there, so that when you pick up the drink, you can actually get a lot of the oils in your hand, just adding to the overall smell. And then just carefully placing in the top there for presentation. And that is the Treacle No. 2. Enjoy.